Hi everyone, my name is Dave Pollack and I'd like to help you overcome public speaking anxiety. I developed the DISH method to help people overcome public speaking anxiety. DISH stands for develop your skills, incorporate your personality, stop the negative thinking, and have fun. This video, we're not going to talk so much about the DISH method, we're going to talk about the causes of public speaking anxiety, what I call the 3 antecedents to public speaking anxiety. And these are low self-efficacy, low self-esteem, and incongruent attitude. Self-efficacy is confidence in your ability to achieve a desired outcome. So if you don't have confidence in your ability to give a presentation or a speech, that can generate anxiety, obviously. And so one of the things you can do is develop your skills. You need to have certain skills to give a presentation or a speech. In Toastmasters, they tell you that every good speech has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. And the introduction is where you tell the audience what you're going to say, the body is where you say it, the conclusion is where you tell the audience what you just said. Another way of looking at that is, in the introduction, you tell the audience why they should be interested in what you're about to say. The body is where you say it, and then the conclusion, you tell them why what you just said is important. So it all depends on how you look at it. But that's part of developing your skills. And we're going to talk a lot about that in the actual, when we talk about the DISH method. Another way that people have low self-efficacy, you might actually have decent presentation skills, but you just don't do it enough. And you're afraid of what might happen when you're actually giving a presentation. You're afraid that people are going to throw tomatoes at you, or boo, or something like that. And the chances of these kinds of things happening are very slim, unless you're presenting at a bar somewhere where everyone's drunk. Then there's very little chance for something like that happening. But it's still the fear of the unknown, the fear of what might happen. And we often expect the worst to happen. And so to get over your anxiety, if you have decent skills, the best way to raise your self-efficacy is by mastery experiences. Doing it. Get up and give a presentation, even if you don't have an audience. You can give a presentation in front of your dog. Looking out the window, you can practice your talk in the car, or you can use the Clint Eastwood method, talk to empty chairs. So there are all sorts of ways to raise your self-efficacy, and we're going to talk more about that in the upcoming video on the actual DISH method. Self-esteem, people who suffer from low self-esteem have a lot more work to do, and it's a lot harder to raise your self-esteem than it is to raise your self-efficacy. Self-esteem has its roots in a variety of sources. It can be anything from child abuse. You might have been abused when you were young. You could have been over-demanding parents. It can come from low self-esteem. Can come from bullying. It can come from rejection by your peers at some point in your life. It can come from being in an abusive relationship. And there are also physical problems that can cause low self-esteem. There's some aspect of your appearance that you can't accept. Perhaps you have a speech impediment or a funny voice like I do. Or maybe you have learning disabilities that affected your self-esteem. ADHD is really hard on people's self-esteem because it affects every aspect of their lives. And so there are a number of things that can cause your self-esteem to go down and feel bad about yourself. And when you suffer from low self-esteem, you feel like you're not worthy of anything good in life. And there's no greater impediment to happiness than a feeling that you're not worthy of happiness. The third antecedent to public speaking anxiety is incongruent attitude. Your attitude is what's causing the anxiety. And this is often, you don't want to give a presentation. You're forced to do it for one reason or another. It might be in school where you're required to do a presentation in one of your classes, or maybe at work you're required to do a presentation and you just don't want to do it. And when we don't want to do things, but we're forced to, that often generates anxiety. So you need to change your attitude. You need to figure out a way to have fun giving speeches. Make it something that you look forward to doing, something that you want to get out there. You want to be in the spotlight. So overcoming those 3 antecedents to public speaking anxiety is what we're going to work on in the next video. And it's also what I'm going to be teaching in the class at the Colorado Free University, where I teach the DISH method. And that's in two sessions. And so you can look at that. You can find more information about that class on the website, dishmethod.com. And that's it for this video. I'll see you next time.